Hello! I had said that my next planner video would be when I got my Maldens and I would do an unboxing video for them. Well, I'm beginning to think the Maldens are never coming, at least not the ones I ordered from Amazon. So in order to get out of my cheap, ugly, awful thrift store binder, I decided to go ahead and go to a local stationery store, the only one in the area that carries Filofaxes. And I'd seen before when I'd been there that they had this Electric Blue personal size Finsbury. And I hadn't really wanted the Finsbury because I don't really like stiff binders and I was nervous about it. And it wasn't quite the same feel of the leather that I was looking for in the Malden. But I liked the color and I liked the price and I decided to just go for it. So here it is. There's no unboxing video. This is going to be the full setup because I bought it at the store. There wasn't really any unboxing other than the plastic sleeve. And I was anxious to go ahead and get it set up. So let me show you how I have it set up. This is the same system that I've been using in the thrift store binder, so I just moved everything over into my new Finsbury, my new Electric Blue Finsbury. So first off, I'll show the charms that I made. So these are just a couple of charms that my mother-in-law had given me to put on a charm bracelet. But with two small kids, I don't really wear a charm bracelet, especially when one of them's an infant that pulls on everything. So I wanted to repurpose these charms because I do love them. I love drinking tea, and so it's a little teacup and saucer. And then I'm a United Methodist pastor, and so this is the United Methodist Cross and Flame. So I just strung these on. I had some beads already and a chain already, and so I made that in anticipation of my purple Malden, but it is doing wonderfully on the Electric Blue Finsbury. Zoom back out. Alright, so I've already been working on training it. It doesn't quite lay flat. You can see it's getting there. It works a lot better when I have pages opened in it, but when it's just right off the bat opened up, it does not lay flat. These card pockets, again, the Finsbury was not my first choice. I don't like the way it feels. It's kind of sharp on the edges, and there's not really much stretch to them. But here's what I currently have in them. I have just some, I don't know if I can even get them out. That's how tight that is. Just some little flags. I don't even remember. I think I got these when I was in college. They used to do a stationery fair every year, and they give away all these free samples. And so these actually came from that, if I'm remembering correctly. I have no idea what brand they are, but they are free and they work. Then I have a couple of the small ollie clips that I use just to bind papers together in my planner. I use them all around the house as well, but I have a couple extra there. I have a pad of the patterned Post-its, the full adhesive. So I trim these up because these are kind of big in the personal size, but I'll cut them down and use them in my weeklies. I just like the color with there. There's nothing in any of these. And then back here in this back pocket, I just have some journaling cards. These are just a few of the ones that I pulled out that I will punch. And these are just, they have good writing space on them, that's why I have these. And I will use them, I'm using one currently in this week, so I can show you that, how I'm using them. So, to start out, this is just a flyleaf that I made out of a transparency sheet. Because as I started in the thrift store binder, it didn't come with flyleaves or anything, so I had to make my own, so that's just that. And this is a Project Life journaling card that I punched just because I like it's a good pick-me-up and reminder, especially with young kids, and I'm currently staying at home, and so my career's on hold, and things may not be exactly how I had wanted them or pictured them, but life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. It's just a good reminder. Now, these dividers I did not make myself. I got them from Etsy, from a shop called Peppermint Doxy, and I will link that down below. But they came with a full set of, I think it was 6 dividers, a dashboard, and a bookmark. And the dashboard came with a top tab, but I was expecting it to be a top tab out of this sheet. I'd specifically requested to have the scrapbook paper for the dashboard be this one from the sample, the array that she showed in the listing. And so I was expecting the top tab to match. But instead, the top tab was, show right here, this print. And it just looked awful to me. It irritated me every time I looked at it and just made me angry. And so I chopped it off. So this is laminating, of course, came up from that, and so I currently just have Scotch tape protecting it. You can't really see it, so it doesn't really cause an issue. And I wish that it had a top tab because it would make it easier to turn, but the not matching one was driving me absolutely nuts. So that's why the dashboard does not have a top tab, and really it's just to look pretty because I just like the way that this looks. All right, so on the back I have a picture. It's outdated now. This was my youngest son's 9-month picture. To attach it, I found some Martha Stewart, they're permanent adhesive little label things here. And they were on clearance at Staples for $1 and for a pack of 4. And after getting them, I thought it was a great deal, but after getting them, I can see why they were on clearance, because every single one of them, with the exception of this one, when this one was hard to get off too, you know how things that are sticky come on a special backed paper? Well, they stuck to the specially backed paper, and it was ripping all the paper off on it. It was impossible to get the little clear pocket off of it. This is the only one that I was able to salvage. So I was really, really disappointed in that product, and I was glad that I only paid $1 for it. But I would have liked to be able to use these more and for other things, but currently it's just a little picture that I will put in and out, pictures of my son and sons as they grow up. So there's that, and that sad story of Martha Stewart failing me for once, because that very rarely happens. All right, so here we get into the actual Filofax inserts. So I have the flyleaf that came with the Finsbury, and the Filofax thing, the introduction to the diary, and I have currently all of the information sheets and the personal information. I haven't filled it out yet. I have it all clipped together with another ollie clip, but it has all the standard stuff that comes, European Union members and all that. So that's neat, and I wanted to keep that in there. So I dressed up some of the dividers with more Project Life cards, just ones that seemed fitting. So here at the beginning of my monthly section, I just have one that says Smile. And I'm using the Piaric monthly inserts. I started using those for 2004. So here's just my monthly view and the bookmark, page marker, that it didn't come with the slits cut in it, so I just cut the slits in it so I can pop it in and out. So there's August, and I love her inserts. I also got for 2015 the monthlies, so that will start here in just a few months. So that's just my first section, is just my monthly, and I just put appointments, big things, birthdays. I have a color coding system, which I'll show you the card that has it on there. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, but these are just big things. And then on the note section, I have some things that have to be done sometime that month. Like I have a monthly chore list for around the house. So for August, it's to clean the refrigerator. And then I have certain things that have to be done for my sons. So I'm going to try a no-spend September next month. So one way I used the journaling card was to do that. So my next section today is for my weekly view. So I have all my past ones. I have a large ollie clip, putting them together. And here I have everything that I have to do for a given week. This is my son's first week back at school, and so I have a little bit of decoration going on, just with the school theme. Some pencils up there. We took a last excursion of summer to the beach. But yeah, I just have all of my to-dos. I also do some tracking, like my little one had a fever, and so I was keeping track of that. If he has any milestones or something, I will put that in. I also weigh him fairly regularly, and so I'll put his weight on just so I can look back and see what was going on. It was his first birthday last week, and so his birthday party was this past weekend, and I have a bunch of thank you notes that I need to write, so that's what this journaling card is. And this is a card that actually came with the dividers from Peppermint Doxy, and so this is my color coding system. So I have pink is for personal things, dark green is for my youngest son, dark blue is for my older son, I have red for any fixed time thing, any certain appointment or a play date or something that has to go on at a certain time. Light blue is for laundry, there's always tons of that, and then green is for household, just things around the house. So I also use the Martha Stewart Dewdrops. I use them for my household chores so that I can just, once I've cleaned the kitchen on this Wednesday, I have a system that I've been using for years of doing certain things on certain days. I can just take it off, go to the next week, and put it in. I don't plan too much in advance. Every Saturday I will go and look at my monthly and put over what needs to be done. So that's the rest of, I only have the weeklies. This is again the periodic inserts through 2014. So for 2015, I have the Filofax week on 2 pages that I will begin using. And I just have those stored in a cabinet right now. I didn't want to bulk it up too much by having a year and a half in there. So my next section is my to-dos. So this is actually, I have the Filofax inserts, the to-do inserts. I have a few of them. But I did not have them before I bought this Finsbury. And so I have, this is just from the dollar spot at Target that I just trimmed down and punched a little to-do list. So I have just some things that I've been needing to do for months, if not years now. Then some things for the house that I've been wanting to do, upstairs and downstairs, broken down. Just ongoing to-dos. These aren't my weekly or daily to-dos. They're not even my monthly to-dos. They're my ongoing, this needs to get done at some point to-dos. I still need to keep track of them. So my next section is, I'm thinking of it as like lists, but it's kind of a dump section. It's things that I just want to keep track of and have in here, just to have a record of it basically, or if I want ideas for something. So I have my first big section, I have books that I've read in 2014. I keep track of them on Goodreads, but I wanted to have a written copy to refer to easily in my planner as well. So I have these. This is again paper that was from the dollar section in Target that I just tore out. I didn't have to cut it down at all. It was perfect fit and punched. And I've been reading a decent amount until recently at least, so I have them all clipped together. I've read 29. I'm on my 30th book so far for the year. But in my defense, some of the books are 600 to 1,000 pages long, so I also have a blank page in there before the next one because I'm expecting to have to go on to the next page soon. Books to read, things to do, and a wish list, and then I just have some more blank paper for other things that I come up with that I want to keep track of. The next section is just blank paper. So I got some of the graph paper that I like to write on with this Finsbury, and so I have that just stuck in here just to have extra. I planned on doing a finance section for this section when I was planning what I was going to use my dividers for, but I already have an expense section in my A5 that I use to keep track of the budget, and I have an expense section in my pocket that I use mostly to keep track of cash expenses while out and about, and so I really couldn't see what I would use a budget section or a finance section in my personal size planner that wouldn't be completely redundant, so I decided not to have one. So the last tab isn't really for a section, it's just for miscellaneous kind of page turner, getting it all back there. So I don't have anything back here, and I don't plan on having, as far as information, anything back here. It's just for extra stuff. So I have a top-loading envelope that came with the Finsbury, and I have some Martha Stewart Dewdrops, and then a thing of stickers that I got for free that I have used occasionally. And then I have a zipper envelope that when I first ordered the Maldens on Filofax, I went a bit nuts thinking of accessories I would want to use, and so I got a zipper envelope, and now I really wish that I hadn't, because I definitely could have put the stuff that I would put in here elsewhere, and it kind of is bulky, and it was like $10, and I really didn't need to spend that money, but I didn't really have a way to return it, and it didn't seem worth my time to try and sell it, so I'm using it and trying not to be bitter about it. So here is, all I have in there is another of the blue, this is the blue patterned full adhesive Post-its. And then I have a Friction Slim refill. Now this is the green refill bag, but it is a purple refill. And the reason for that, I have one of the multi-ink, I don't even know what the technical term for it is, but it's a multicolor friction pen, And I saw from a video from, I believe it's from My Purpley Life, that the refills you could replace with using Friction Slim refills. So I kind of did a big switch around. This is, the pen that I'm using here is a Friction Slim, and it is the purple barrel, and it had this purple ink in it, but I took the black insert from the multi-barrel pen out and put it in here so I can have black ink as my main one, because I use Staedtler's for my color coding, but if I'm just jotting something down quickly, I use this just for black ink. And then the green, I bought a refill of the green and put that into my multi-barrel one because it fit better with those colors for my color coding. And so that's not in this planner, that's for elsewhere. But that's the reason I have the purple sticking out. This is the purple that wasn't here. The green is now in my multi-barrel, and the black that was in the multi-barrel is now in here. That's confusing and probably didn't need to go into all of that with you, but that's just why I have a random but not quite right color refill of ink in there. So this takes it to the back. You have this big long zipper pocket. I have no idea what I would do with it. There's not anything in there. Again, like all the pockets, they just don't have any stretch to them, and it bothers me, so I don't know what I would put in there. So I'm not putting anything in there now. So there you have it. This is how I have, sticking on a ring somewhere, that's not good. This is how I have everything set up for the moment in my Finsbury. It's how I had everything set up before in my thrift store planner. And it's worked really well for me so far. I've been using this setup for several months. I don't see anything that I really need to change yet. I actually have a Malden on its way to me. I have an ochre Malden that I did a trade with someone for. So that should be here in the next week or so. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep using the Finsbury once I get the Malden. I may just move everything and do another planner, switch over, move everything over, because it's not quite love yet. It's pretty, but it's not that floppy softness that I was really, really excited about in getting a Malden. So I'm guessing that my Finsbury time is going to be short-lived, but we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to hang on to it to switch out, or if I will sell it. So there you go. This is how I have everything set up in my Finsbury. I hope that this has been helpful for you, and I hope that you enjoyed. Feel free to leave me comments, your thoughts, your suggestions, and I would love it if you'd subscribe. And I promise to have the unboxing for a Malden, even though it won't be my Amazon Malden, here in the next couple of weeks for you. Thank you again for watching. Bye.